Hello everyone. Since prelims is only 5 months away, it's time to shift gears for prelims preparation. And here is a strategy you can use to streamline your prelims preparation for 2025. So let's get into it and see how can we organize our preparation so that it is more focused and productive. Okay. So first and foremost, let us just list down what subjects we need to cover according to the priority. So in prelims, polity, economy form the highest priority subjects. And then comes environment, ecology with geography. Okay. So these four essentially become our primary focus, because if you would notice, 12 to 15 questions come from polity, similarly 12 to 15 questions from economy, and yet again from both these combined we would have some 15-17 questions. So a major chunk, you can say roughly 45 questions, are being formed from these subjects. So it is important for us to make sure that we are not getting any static or easy questions incorrect from these topics. Then next what we are left with is history, and in history we have modern India, ancient and medieval, alongside art and culture. So history will be covering in essentially these three segments, and next we are left with science and tech. And alongside all of this goes current affairs. So now let us quickly see what sources we should be using to sort of cover these subjects. For polity, Lakshmikant has to be done thoroughly, and you can also do the NCERT class 11th book, Indian Constitution at Work. That is a really nice book to understand the Constitution of India actually. So NCERT of class 11, you can start with that and then move on to Lakshmikant. For economy, you can use a book if you want, like Ramesh Singh, or there's a book by Nitin Singhania also. You can use those, or you can use any notes available in the market which you are comfortable with. The idea with economy is that you should develop conceptual clarity. Until and unless you have understood the concepts of economy, you will not be able to solve those questions. For example, questions on interest rates or inflation, you need to have conceptual clarity for that. So that was about economy. Then for geography, you can use NCERTs of class 11th and 12th. They are really good. Again, there is a certain degree of conceptual clarity needed in geography as well. So if you are not able to get those concepts clear just by reading, you can watch some YouTube videos or maybe watch some lectures to get that conceptual clarity. Then environment. Now environment is a current oriented subject for prelims. So for that, a certain portion comes as a static part that you can cover from Shankar IAS book. Apart from that, you can cover environment through your monthly magazines. So each monthly magazine will have the segment of environment. You can use those monthly magazines and cover the environment portion from each of those to cover the part of environment thoroughly. Then next comes your history. So for history, modern India spectrum is really good. You can use that, or you can do the Bipin Chandra book. Whatever you are comfortable with. You can also do the NCERT. So whatever you are able to understand better, you are able to comprehend better, stick to that, and that should work. For ancient, use R.S. Sharma NCERT. It's a really good book. Now you do not have to do it cover to cover. Selective reading of important chapters is good enough. I will share the important chapters from R.S. Sharma on my Telegram channel. You can check that out for reference. And similarly, for medieval, you can do Satish Chandra NCERT. It is a really good book, and again, selective reading is good enough. Then for art and culture, you can use Nitin Singhania. It is a comprehensive book, and yet again, you can do selective reading of Nitin Singhania of, you know, subjects or topics that are specifically more relevant for for prelims. You can refer to PYQs to understand what topics are more important, right? So this was about history. Finally, we come to science and tech. Now, science and tech is very similar to environment in the sense that the strategy more or less remains same. It would be covered primarily in two segments. One would be some static material. You can use any material available in the market which has sort of explained the science concepts, science and technology concepts, and you're able to gather them, or you can use the NCERTs for this. Next, what you need to do is current affairs thoroughly. Yet again, what you can do is you can do the monthly magazines and cover the science and tech portion correctively if you are doing monthly magazines. If you're not doing monthly magazines, you can also do PT 365. Similarly, for environment, you can also do PT 365 if you're not doing monthly magazines. Right, so this was about essentially our sources, what sources we would be using to cover our prelims preparation. Next, we need to organize this preparation in a manner which is practically possible and will also ensure multiple revisions for us. So, since polity, economy are the highest return on investment kind of subjects, so if we talk about polity, we would need somewhere around 12 to 15 days to cover polity. Similarly, for economy, we would need around 15 days for sure. That means around a month of your time would go in covering up these subjects. So if you, let's say, start from the coming Sunday, you know, which would be I think it would be 6th or 7th of January. So you could start from the coming Monday, let's say. So from that, in the month of January, you should be able to cover polity and economy. Then if you move on to, let's say, geography, the NCERTs and the static part of geography can be covered in, you know, 7 days, let's say. So that is a good enough time to cover geography. Then comes your environment. Now again, 6 to 7 days are more than enough for covering up environment. So you can see roughly 14 days of your time would go in geography and environment. And then you have your history. And this history is in 3 segments: modern, ancient medieval, and art and culture. So if you give roughly 5 to 6 days to modern India and let's say 3.5 or 3.5 days to ancient and medieval respectively, that is total you can maybe give 7 days. And for ancient, you can give another 3 to 4 days. So you would see that in the next month of February, you can cover up these portions sufficiently, right? Then you would be left with science and tech, which would take up another 5 days or so. Thus, by, let's say, the first week of March, you would have covered all your GS papers at least once comprehensively. Now, this is about the GS part of your preparation which you would be doing. Parallelly, what you have to cover is CSAT. You have to ensure, okay, before you jump into CSAT, first things first, what you need to do is analyze your present CSAT level. If you are scoring less than 50 in your CSAT preparation, in your CSAT papers, then you need to give at least 2 hours daily to your CSAT prep. If you are, let's say, scoring in the bracket of 50 to 70, then you can do by 1.5 hours of prep time daily for CSAT. And if you are scoring above 80, you can delay your CSAT preparation to, let's say, March or April. April would also be enough. But if you are lying somewhere in these first two categories, then please start your CSAT preparation as soon as possible, because clearing the GS cutoff without the CSAT cutoff will land you nowhere. So that we have to keep in mind. So alongside the GS papers, dedicatedly give 1 to 2 hours of CSAT. And current affairs also would take up 1 to 1.5 hours or 2 hours of your daily time. So if you look at what your day would look like, your day would look like this. Let's say in the morning time slots from 9 to 2, you are taking a stretch of your GS subject. So whatever GS subject you are picking up, you are covering up that. Then let's say you have your lunch and a little rest break. So then 3 to 5, you can do your CSAT. Then again, you can have a little break, and then 6 to, let's say, 7:30 or something, you are covering up your current affairs. So, and then you take your dinner break, and then after dinner, you would have roughly 2 hours slot left. You can go back and do your GS in this, or you can pick up PYQs, or maybe complete any of your backlogs. See, this plan which I have shared over here, the number of days, this assumes at least 5 hours of GS studies every day. At least 5 hours. Essentially, it will have to be more than that. So, if you use this plan, you can easily get 8 to 9 hours of study from this section. And then if you invest a couple of more hours, you would be doing fairly well, roughly at 11 to 12 hours, which is good enough. If you are able to follow this consistently, you will be in a really good position when prelims is near. So this is a rough plan. You can obviously shift the segments and customize it according to your needs. Now this is the basic idea for prelims 2025. We have seen what sources we need, we have seen how many days each subject is going to take, and how our each day would be looking like. Now if we try and see what a week would be looking like, so Monday to Saturday, let's say, you will be following this schedule of GS plus CSAT plus current affairs. On Sundays would essentially be test days and for revision. You could revise whatever you have studied in the entire week on Sunday, or you can also analyze the test you have just given. You could maybe move the revision to Saturday evening so that you are ready for the test on Sunday morning. So this way you have accommodated your studies or your syllabus coverage, you have accommodated your test series or whatever mock tests you are taking, And you have also accommodated revision in your planning. See, revision is a very important part of your preparation, because until and unless you revise something, you will not be able to recall it when the information is required in the exam. So this is what your week would be looking like. Using this plan, you would be able to cover your syllabus at least once by the first week of March. By the first week of March, you would have done one entire set of syllabus coverage. After that, you can have a few buffer days, 5-7 buffer days, so that you can cover up any backlogs or something you might not be very comfortable with. You can do that. After that, another cycle of the same set of subjects and revision can begin from, let's say, 15th of March or 25th of March, whatever whatever suits you. So another set of revision would start from this, and depending upon your speed, you can either complete it in 1 month or whatever time is left, that is 2 months. So this way you can ensure multiple revisions for your GS, for your current, and you can ensure you are clearing CSAT as well. Also, one thing to keep in mind during all of this is PYQs. PYQs have to be followed thoroughly while doing in every GS paper, and of course CSAT. So this is about Prelims 2025. All the best.